Hey Gemini, this is wishkotheferret. Thanks for hopping into the ferret den where we're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and today we have a reading for you for March 13th to the 19th. So before we get started, I do want to say that my Patreon is launching late March, early April. So if you like my stuff and if you think I'm cool, go ahead, like it, subscribe. That way you don't miss content from me. Also, you won't miss updates on the Patreon. So I'm going to be honest with you right off the bat before we get into our prayer, Gemini. I had to prepare my energy for this reading, and I'm not going to go into detail unless I feel called to, because I'm going to be pulling your tarot. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards here. I know that Spirit is ready to go, and I know you're the last sign in the zodiac that I'm doing for this week. I had to separate it. So usually, like, what I've been doing is doing the fire signs, the earth, water, whatever the case may be. The air signs are just collectively last for whatever reason, and for whatever reason I was like, I feel like it's not the time to do Gemini yet. And for whatever reason, Spirit said that there was stuff to sort out for me in order to receive your energy. So we'll see what comes through. But I have your oracle cards up here in the corner. We're going to get into those after we get into the tarot, and we'll just see what comes up. So if you would like to join me in prayer, if you would like to pause the video, go into your own prayer, as always, drop into your heart space. Let your intuition determine the messages for you. So let the dust spiritually, emotionally, and physically settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. And call in your spirit guides, call in your angel team, your ancestors, anybody that you work with on the other side, including loved ones, animal totems, whatever the case may be, deities. I will be connecting with my own love and light over here. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for surrounding me with a bubble of protection and a bubble of light. Thank you for helping me clear the muck from within and around my energy so that way I can have a clear connection. Thank you to the highest source, the highest love, and the highest light. Thank you, angel team. Thank you, spirit guides, for connecting me with this light to help Gemini receive the highest truth and the highest outcome for their life path. Thank you for allowing me to articulate this message clearly, and thank you for helping this message find whoever it was meant to find, whether it be Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or for whoever else may stumble upon this message. I hope that this message touches them the way that it's supposed to. My cards are slipping. Oh, Gemini. Okay. So Gemini, you're naturally very strong and unwavering in your passions, like moving forward with your goals, your dreams. Your Astro Dice rolls the Sun, the Aries sign, and the 10th house. To me, this says that you are creating an abundance based on a passion that is going to manifest in a form of career, reputation, success, glory, those types of things. It's going to be in relation to your lifetime achievements. There's something big like that you're manifesting here, and I just heard measure your life in love. So that Seasons of Love, the Rent song is coming through. Don't measure your life in the things that you achieve or the productivity or the amount of work that you put out. But they're telling me it's really the relationships in your life that are the most important. I want to be careful with this energy because I've already felt this before I approached your energy and connected with this energy. The reason being that when you push forward with something, when you choose to focus on one side of the coin or the other, Gemini, you are the sign of duality. So you have an uncanny ability and you have the wisdom to recognize both the shadow aspects of your goal and what you want for your future, and you have the ability to recognize the positives. And I'm trying to figure out where you are at this time, because sometimes we are stuck in a feeling of stagnation. In this energy of being faced with actions and their consequences, whether good or bad, you're seeing the pros and cons of everything. You're seeing the full breadth of your situation, and you are acknowledging or able to see the sacrifices on both sides. When you Spirit's saying they don't want you to trip up over these things, but I'm getting the energy in the sense that you are. And that's fine. We're going to work through it together. Before we dive in, let's just dive in. I'm feeling called to dive in immediately. So you have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is a clarity of mind. The Queen of Swords is very sharp in thinking. Her decision skills are top-notch. She knows what's going on. She knows the best way to counter. As I just heard from Spirit, she knows the best way to counter arguments. She knows the best ways of being productive and being counterproductive. So she has a very good mind. She has a very sharp vision for her future. She has a very sharp, keen sense of what is happening in the here and now. I'm feeling less of a presence on the here and now. I really feel like you have the ability to focus on the here and now, but there is a lack of energy on the present, and that it's more future oriented. You have 3 different 9s in this reading, Gemini. I don't mean to scare you, but we're going to go. It's not something to be afraid of. 9, I just want to say before we get into it that 9 precedes 10, and 10 is completion. So at the very least, you are about to enter through a door of coming out the other side of whatever discord this is, or whatever stagnating energy this is. Whatever type of conflicting energy is here, I just feel like the core of your energy, or like the very essence of Gemini, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Gemini, the very essence of Gemini is out of balance here. And I think that Gemini not only is very good at handling that balance, but there is, like, when you have to come back to yourself and return to yourself and return to your values and your virtues, that's when you restore that balance. But to us, to me, to you, this is the balance of understanding. Spirit is saying to us, this balance is distinguished. I'm hearing Spirit is saying to us, this balance is distinguished based on the amount of effort you put into a certain side. So you have the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is a fear of moving forward. It's a fear of what the future will bring. It's being stuck in your nightmares and being stuck in their shadows. And the further you sink into your shadows, the more you feel that there's no way out. I feel like this is a side of a situation that maybe you could have just approached this shadow, where, like, maybe you kind of knew it. Some of you might have known it. Some for you it might have come in left field. I really feel like maybe Spirit says it's an issue of discernment, but I really feel like that whatever this is, there were shadow aspects that are now drawing into the light, that you are now, it's now being brought fully into your awareness. And you're like, oh snap. So it's almost like you're unsure. Like, that in itself, we're not even to the challenges yet, but that in itself is the challenge here. is, it's not even in the challenges, but like the energy presenting now is challenging. This, like, the current energies do feel challenging in that respect. You have the Queen of Pentacles, where you are surrounded by resources and you're surrounded by abundance. And I really like, I'm just going to say you have the Queen of Pentacles and you have the Nine of Cups here. So your reading literally goes Queen, 9, Queen, 9. Again, there's just these two balanced energies here. So let me read them together. With you have the Queen of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords. So your logic, your mind, your ideas, they're conflicting with a shadow aspect. You are coming into awareness. You are coming into some kind of more full awareness that this is something that has shadow aspects. You're now becoming aware of those shadow aspects. It's being brought into your attention. When you have the Queen of Pentacles here, you have an abundance and you are recognizing your achievements so far. The Nine of Cups is about achievement, success, your wish coming true. This is something where you are starting to see, either some of you are starting to see traction in something, or you are coming into a space where you are getting rewards. You are seeing, like if some of you have planted seeds, you're starting to see them sprout, or you're starting to see that you are like accomplishing things, and you are actually starting to, I'm seeing like, wow, who is that from the tarot? That looks like a familiar figure from the tarot, and I don't know which. Is it a king? No. I don't know. There's... No. Okay, you know what? If it pops up in the tarot, I'm going to have to like come back and insert that. But there's like, they're showing me someone, and I think he's either like, I think he's the person shown in the Two of Wands. It's quite later, because I was like, wait, I've seen that tarot figure before. They're showing me the Two of Wands, like the person who's in the Two of Wands, and he's finally stepping into like the Three of Wands era, where he's starting to go up the steps. Like they're kind of mixing, because I'm seeing like images from like two different tarot decks, the original, and then like a Mystic Mondays tarot, where he's literally starting to climb a ladder. He's starting to go on like the podium. He's starting to step up, and he's like starting to work now. So we are entering from a stage of planning into a stage of movement, and maybe you've been in that movement, but you are now starting to be able to see more of the landscape that you're working with. You're starting to see more things that are coming into fruition that you have beckoned forward. That's actually really cool. Oh, dang. So again, you have both sides though. So the more of the landscape you see, the more you recognize the things not only that you will have to sacrifice to keep it, but you will have to understand kind of, it's almost like with this reading, Spirit is kind of, they don't want you to be afraid of this. I think it's very easy to take this into consideration and panic, but this is just your daily life. I'm hearing with Spirit that this is just something that you're used to. Like you've done this before, and you've embraced this challenge before, where you've come across something that you know, on one hand you were so excited about it, and then you were really charging forward with it, or you had a lot of hope about something, but then you started to see the true landscape of it. Or you started to achieve, or you started to see it come to fruition, and you realized that in order to maintain it, you have to sacrifice something, or that there was some kind of like, not even sacrifice, but like it might have like a negative consequence, or something that, not negative, but like, because it's in the grand scheme of things, it does feel like it's for your higher good, but it feels like there's some sense of loss in order to come into something, because you're making room for something better, and anytime you're stepping through the door of completion, you are leaving something else behind, and sometimes that involves sadness and grief and loss. And Spirit says, we don't want that to happen, and we're sorry, but like, they don't want you to feel upset or sad about it, but the reality is that you probably will. But that is just a fact of life that you've come to learn, Gemini, and it's just one of those things that you are reminded to embrace now in this cycle for this week. In your challenges position, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Nine of Wands. So you have the Nine of Wands coming up first, and like I said, out of all of the minor arcana, you have like 3 9s and an 8. So like, before we get into the energies down here, and what's going to make your life easier, let's just get through this energy first. So for challenges, the Nine of Wands is saying that you're very guarded. You're very guarded with your time, your energy, and you're kind of being spooked out by this Nine of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Like your ability from the Queen of Swords, like your sharp intellect is causing you to stop and to guard your heart and guard your passions. And you almost kind of want to slow down a little bit because there's a hesitancy with this Ace of Pentacles here. And the Ace of Pentacles is presenting a new opportunity, a new way forward, and your challenge is accepting that. Your challenge is that if you guard yourself too much, then the opportunity will slip you by, or slip by you, I guess I should say. And it feels like Spirit just said something is coming into your awareness that it's meant to stay. It's meant to help you transmute it into something better, but it's something to prepare you so that you can recognize that when the time comes to let these things go, that you are willing to let these things go. And it's like they're bringing it to your awareness now so that you can take a look at what, like, start thinking critically about what in your life needs to go to make room for this new opportunity or this new dream. What needs to go? What do you need to do in order to prepare better for this future so that you can maintain your balance down the line? Because I get this, there is a sense that of feeling scattered here. What's going to make your life easier, the reason why I say it feels sort of scattered, is because we have the Eight of Wands, which is a need to focus. So when I get the Eight of Wands, it feels like there is a scattered energy present, or that your attention is put on so many different things. And Spirit says that in order to make this cycle easier for you, to harrow down your focus, like to really narrow it down and focus on one particular thing. This could be a particular mindset. This could be a particular passion or way forward. This could be, like, as if you have so many ideas, it's hard in the moment to seize every single one. Like, we as people, the reality of it is we can do anything, but we can't do everything. And I hate to say it like that because I'm the type of person that's like, no, I want to be everything and I'm going to achieve everything. And I really stomp my feet into the ground on that one, even though there is a reality that says that that's not true. So you really need to try not to hold so many wands up in the air. Try not to launch so many arrows at once. I'm really getting the vibe that, like, I do see a Sagittarius, like, pulling the arrow, drawing their arrow, and usually when someone's aiming for a goal, I'll see a Sagittarius pull their arrow and then release it. And I think the issue might be that you're trying to cast so many arrows that your aim isn't going to be great. I just heard from Spirit, your aim is going to be off. The more arrows you try to juggle at the same time, the less abundance it's going to return to you, because you're not going to be able to hit the right mark. And things that, like, if you took your time and you fired one arrow at a time, you would be able to hit your mark every time, or at least practice with that same arrow until you hit the bullseye, so then you could work on the next arrow. There's just something here about really taking your time to move forward with things. King of Wands here, and what's going to make your life easier is having the confidence in, like, your ability to manage this balance. I feel like you almost feel, because these things are coming into your awareness, it's causing you to stall. And Spirit wants you to move forward with the same King of Wands confidence that you've had before. I felt drawn to pull Tiger's Eye here. I think this is like a very, in order to balance the energy of Gemini, I have read recently that Tiger's Eye was good, but this is also my confidence stone. This is the stone that really helps me connect back to my own power. And I really feel like purging what's necessary here. Like, I just feel Panther Spirit drawing in right now, even though we're not pulling from the Spirit Oracle deck right now, like the Animal Spirit Oracle deck. I really feel like the Panther comes in with a message of taking out of your life what isn't necessary so that you can restore that balance. For some of you, I heard, like, womanhood, like you need to embrace more of your womanhood. And I hear that, yeah, I don't know, maybe that was a very specific message for some of you, where maybe you just need to indulge more in, like, the feminine aspects of yourself. This doesn't have to be just for, it does seem specifically targeted towards women, but you can indulge in the feminine aspects if you are any gender. So, really, Spirit is saying, like, to fall back on your intuitive, restful, really just tuning into that intuition, tuning back. I really feel like doing more, like, feminine things. Again, that's a very specific message for some of you, but tuning more into your, like, feminine urges of doing things. Not like of achieving your dreams, but maybe in terms of rest and relaxation, or hobbies. There's just something here about like restoring your balance in that way, or restoring back or calling back to like your yin energy so that you can really tune to what you need for like restoring your balance. Let's get into your oracle cards here. You have Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Didn't I just say calling back on your like womanhood or feminine energy or something? And then you have the Priestess. The Priestess. So all up in your intuition here. All up, your guides are really pushing forward on this. I had actually a spirit come to me this morning, like before I woke up, and I mean, she was there. I'm pretty sure she was chewing gum. She had like really bright nails, and she had the lipstick and everything, and she was telling me, I was like, oh, and she I don't know, she was just kind of here, and sometimes spirits are a little weird about telling me who they are. I was like, well, what is your name? Like, who are you? And she was like, it's a secret. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, well, what are you here for? And I was like, well, what do you need something from me, or what would you like from me? And she said, I'm here to help you with the energy of Gemini. So I do feel like you have, as like before we dive into this oracle card, I do feel like there are feminine presences on the other side that are ruling your energy and that are ruling your sign. And I feel like they are here to help you, because she said there was an issue with restoring balance. She also said there was an issue with the throat chakra for you guys, that like some type of throat action may be required to help you balance. So again, like if you have some type of expression to work with in terms of like journaling, I just heard from spirit say maybe. So connecting with water is important for a lot of you too. I'm seeing the waves of the water, Gemini. And I feel like for some of you, you may need to go out swimming or connecting with a body of water, even if, I don't know. It's like, I know it's approaching spring in my like space of the world. But if you have a body of water to go to that you're comfortable with like bundling up or even just walking out to, depending on where you're at, water helps connect us to our intuition. I think I have a post on Instagram about this, but is there something so grounding and calming about water, and there's something that just opens up to my straight to my intuition. There is something so healing and peaceful about water, and they're very closely connected with our intuition and our feelings. So going to a body of water is like, it might also be an aid in helping you restore balance. How are you being called to step up and lead? How are you being called to reclaim your own power here, Gemini? How are you being called? Like, what is Spirit saying through all of this discord? What is the purpose behind it? And like, you don't have to. Maybe that's too big of a task or too big of a word. Purpose, like the word purpose, always like scares people. It does kind of scare me too a little bit. But how are you being called to manage your energy? How are you being called to take the lead and say, okay, Spirit, this is how I want to govern my energy? You can't always choose how it manifests in your everyday world or in your daily life, but you can choose how you handle it, and you still have the power to choose how you react. The way that you react to your circumstances is going to matter more than what is happening to you. You also have birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So what kind of visions do you imagine for yourself? So Spirit has something, maybe you have this very young or sprightly or jovial energy. Some of you may also be connected with fairy spirits, just because like I'm seeing kind of fairies dance. I don't typically connect with fairy energy, so I don't know much about it, but maybe that's something that you might want to look into if you're looking into connections on the other side, or connections on like, different energies you could work with in terms of manifesting this dream. But you are kind of, and again, especially with like the sun and Aries, and your 10th house is a very long-term thing for you. So it's a very long-term, career goal oriented, lifetime achievement. It doesn't have to be in terms of career, but very long-term reputation, lifetime goal, your north node essentially. Between the sun and Aries, though, it is, speaking of a birth of something, like the sun is creation, and Aries is the start of the zodiac, the first start of the zodiac, and they are the most passionate. Like they hold the most passionate and creative energies because they are the first. They are birthed into, like they are what birthed the whole zodiac, because they're first. But just between sun and Aries, this is a very powerful coming into anew. This is quite literally like, I feel like the death card kind of already happened to you, where like you already kind of, you were already kind of rebirthed in like a weird way. I wouldn't say a weird way, but the death card feels like something of past, or the energy of being reborn, or some type of Pluto restructuring energy has already happened already. Because you're being birthed anew and you are dreaming of what you want to bring into creation. This is a very, like, I'm not going to say it's a dreamy state. I feel like you're going to be taking action quickly, but really I think you're going to, like, it feels like you're going to be dreaming and you're going to be acting on it right away. So you could have a partner in this mess. Somebody just said you could have a partner in this mess. So rely on your support system at this time. If it is a significant other, if it is like somebody in your like friendship circle or in your familial circle, you do have a partner in this mess at this time. And I think Spirit wants you to use it. But really, it's your call. Spirit says how you manage this energy right now is your call. And power can be very scary. Power is very scary. Whether you see like the amazing things that you can create, but then you also see the things that you can lose, or the fears of what will come from your success. It is a lot of power to hold. And Spirit doesn't want you to be afraid of it just because something icky might manifest, because I feel like it's going to be very small in comparison to the amazing things that you will create. It might be kind of annoyances to deal with, but I mean, with every good thing comes the bad. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the good things to appreciate. It is all a duality of life. It's all a balance. And I don't think anybody is going to enter the perfect life. You might find something that fits your energy very well. But I don't think, I think everything comes with its stressors. Everything comes with its cons. And that is the thing of duality. That is why duality presents itself in our everyday life, is because there's always something that we could have more of. There's always something that feels like maybe we don't have enough, or like, we wish we had that again, or like, there's some absence or this lack of something that you will have to lose now. You'll have to lose this feeling of lack, or you'll have to lose something that maybe later you will be feeling lack of, but you will be so abundant in everything else that it's really going to come down to you and where you put your energy and how you channel that. So I don't think anyone wants to be told that they're going to lose something, but I feel like it is for the better it's something that's kind of disdaining for you now, is what Spirit is saying. Something it's like, oh, it disdains you. And I think some of us may have trouble dealing with the duality of life, which is interesting because this is Gemini energy. But I understand that it is a very human thing to struggle with duality. For your other oracle cards, though, but basically all I have to say about that is choosing where to put your energy. How powerful do you want to be, Gemini? Where can you put your energy? You can't control your external factors, but you can control the things that you create, how you manage your energy, and I don't know, the kinds of things that you can birth into creation. For your other oracle card, you have clean it up. So getting rid of this stagnant energy, getting rid of clearing kind of this could quite be like a literal physical, this could be a ritualistic cleaning your space for you. I really do feel like maybe there's some type of maintaining your space that you have to do, or maintaining your spiritual space. There's something here about constant maintenance that maybe you should incorporate in your routine, because it just feels like it's mucky. Some spaces feel like they've been mucky for a while, but it really does feel like this is going to help you in restoring your balance. You also have chaos and conflict here that's actually came out reversed. I don't read the reverse meanings. But now I'm curious. You are I'm going to pull the book on this because I never pull reverse and I never read reverse, but here we go. Oh, and it's 33 too. So master number here, it's 33. Chaos and conflict upright. Chaos and conflict feels like just discord and shedding some old skin. But in reversed, it feels like it's a resistance to this change or this energy. So, I'm going to read the protection message. Usually when it's reversed, it feels like the protection message. There are In the wisdom of the oracle, there is an essential meaning, an oracle meaning, a relationship message, a prosperity message, but there is a protection message here when it's reversed. This is an advantageous moment to restore order and recognize the opportunity for negotiation. Even in the seeming chaos, there is a kind of divine order, a complete resorting of elements. This is powerful. If your intention is to find the best solution for the highest good of all, there is positive news. The timing is perfect. Things are already stirred up, so don't be afraid to jump into the mix. You'll discover everything you need to know about how the situation affects you long term. Be present in the eye of the chaos. This moment is valuable. Don't waste it. I got the chills, guys. I got the chills. Oh, okay. So, dang. Okay, it's literally seeing two opposing forces and then choosing which to recognize and using your best discernment in this present moment for what is needed to be done or where your energy needs to go. Dang. I'll let that apply to you and however you see fit. But I really do feel like that is probably the most real thing out of all the cards here for you. Oh, and you do have, I'm trying to roll the dice, and you have one more. Beauty. You have beauty. Dare to be tender and strongly vulnerable. You're kind of afraid to show yourself here. The throat chakra, the throat chakra is about authenticity, expressing your truth and being like how you show up to the world, how you present yourself to the world, sometimes is expressed through the throat chakra. And Gemini is a very communicative energy. It's a very communicative sign. So whether you have skills in communication or not really doesn't matter. The throat chakra is kind of like a home space for you. The throat chakra is where you can express your concerns, your abundance, your words have power. And I think Spirit is calling in your ability to use words. You don't always have to speak on power. You can speak on your vulnerabilities and see the beauty behind your vulnerability. You can see the beauty behind the things that you cannot change, the things that you have not healed yet, the things that you still need to sort through, because that lends the way for opportunity to come in and help you heal those things and help you make peace with them. And they could help you seek support so that you ultimately feel stronger, that you feel more stable. It's almost like Spirit just imagine, and again, I keep seeing y'all with like the Two of Wands. You guys have some big plans for the future. You have some big plans that you want to build off of your creations and off of your passions, because they keep showing me the person, like the guy with the red cap for the Two of Wands, and like planning his future, envisioning his future. And I saw him, like, when you're using your throat chakra, I just see, like, when you're, like, seeking support from other people and expressing your vulnerabilities, I see Spirit, the people around you. There's something here about them building supports under you, and then over time, it makes a throne for you to sit on. So there is power in your vulnerability. Not only can you seek support from that, but it's almost like acknowledging the duality of your existence, the duality of the energies that you bring to the world. That is your power. That is, I just heard, that is one of your divine missions, is to acknowledging the beauty of the paradox, acknowledging the beauty of what is, what could be, and the two types of energies, or the various types of energies that are all conflicting, that is all chaotic, but then recognizing and calling attention to the fact to everybody else that they are all beautiful. It is the power of ascension for you. It is the power of just like a freedom to express yourself. There's just like some other stuff coming through, especially with the chaos and conflict and being the master number 3-3. I feel like threes are important for you at this time, because 3 does feel like a very in-between energy. It does work with ascended masters, and anytime I see an odd number, it feels like an in-between vibration, almost like that you are leveling up and into like a new into like a new homeostasis. It really does feel like an energetic upgrade for you. So truly understanding the beauty of all components in the equation is what's going to build your throne. I just heard dare. I just heard dare from Spirit. It really does feel like you are daring Like, they want me to highlight here on this card, dare to be tender. Dare to be gentle with yourself. Dare to be gentle with these harsh energies that are presented to you. And once you recognize that power, like, you got your gold in the bag. I don't know. This could be actual, like, financially. This could be metaphorically in terms of, like, the kinds of abundance that you will achieve, because there are many forms of abundance that you can achieve in your life. I really do feel like, I don't know, I feel like ultimately this is something that's really going to add amazing visions to your life that you never really thought possible. So with that being said, let me roll the dice for you, Gemini, before I let you go here. 2, 8, 3. Spirit's telling me to wrap it up. There's a dog next door that's starting to howl, and I'm like, oh, there he goes. He's a howler. I'm sure he's a cute baby. I've seen him around, but he's a howler. So Spirit's like, come on, let's pick it up. You are being guided to move into a state of care and compassion. Choose to be love. Again, one more time. You are being guided to move into a state of care and compassion. Choose to be love. Use your power. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose love or you can choose fear, is what this feels like to me, especially with the 9 of Swords being presented here. You choose what to be, what to harness, and what energy to live in. But also just always be aware of that other energy present so that you can maintain that balance. Thank you, Gemini, for allowing me to connect with your energy. That's it for you. Thank you to your guides and your spirit team for helping me connect with this energy. I know this was very hard, and I feel like Spirit is also saying embrace the in-between, or the in-between state of not fully feeling like you are on your feet yet. That's okay too. It really does feel like this energy would not have been possible without me being prepped. So thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to go through the trials that I did between the last day or two. Because there was a lot of, like, weird spiritual visions and a lot of different things that, like, they were, like, trying to help me with so that I can understand duality and embrace that energy a little bit more. Because as much as I say I understand duality, it is so complex and so nuanced, and I feel like the sign of Gemini really sits in that duality way more than I ever have, being like a Sagittarius sun and a Pisces moon and rising. So, and I have to be straight up honest and authentic with y'all. Like, I don't know everything, and I'm not going to pretend, I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'm not the tarot reader to tell you everything's going to be okay. Because, like, there are some things that I don't understand, and there are some things that I will guide you to others if I don't know the answer, but I will try to be honest and let you know when I don't. But I'm really glad that I was prepped for this energy that came through. So again, thank you so much. If this resonated with you, like, subscribe, go ahead and comment down below if you so feel called to, because I love to get to know you guys, and I love to get to know how these resonate with you and how my messages have touched the collective. So again, watch out for that Patreon, and I will see you next time. I love you.